Alright. Alright, here we go. Hi, everyone, and welcome to Dynamite, or Mite. I, Mike Lane, Tony Schiavone, and Montel Vertadius Porter here. And today on Dynamite, or Mite, we're going to see the match we seen yesterday on NXT here today on Dynamite or Mite when we get Austin Theory taking on Nico Talatini, if I'm saying his kid name right, Mike Lane says. Well, I don't really know, Tony Schiavone said, if you are or not saying his kid name right or not. It is a Italish kid name, I can tell you that. We saw yesterday on NXT, Mike Lane, is that Austin Theory beat Miko Talatini, and I don't know if I'm even saying his name right or not. Well, who really cares if you're saying his kid name right or not? I don't think anyone watching this is going to care, Mike and Tony, who's saying the name right or not. At the end of the day, I don't really think they care that much about anything. Well, Montel Vertadius Porter says, but I know one man that everybody can say the name right, and that's Austin Theory. Everyone always keeps on asking me why I got my hand up all the time. Well, you see, someone at Mattel forgot to make my wireless far speaker. So I got my hand up, behaving as if I have it in there, and I don't. So no, the hand goes down. Also, here's the other thing Austin Theory said. Yesterday on NXT, I beat that Steven Seagal self. You know, Nico Salatini from Miko Above the Law, or Above the Law, the first film that Steven Seagal show played in. And apparently he was handicapped because he had a gun in his hand. And he couldn't really do that much. But at the end of the day, I am up beating him. At the end of the day, I am up shaming him. And he thinks that I'm frightened of some, I don't know, near Chicago, near lawkeeper. Think again. Even though Dick Woods likes to go around and make all of these shows about the New York stead near lawkeepers, and Los Angeles and Chicago stead near lawkeepers and first helpers and firefighters and all that shit. Yeah, that's the only thing you're good at, Dick Woods. So anyway, if you think I'm frightened of some former Chicago stead near lawkeeper who near be a law underseeker named Nico Sonatini, who can't get over the shit that happened to him in the Vietnamese War, well, I'm not frightened of him at all. Alright, you knock the shit off right now, Austin Theory. I am sick of you shaming me and guilting me. Yeah, you beat me yesterday on NXT, Austin Theory. And I'll give you that. You got the upper hand on me. But you're not going to be beating me here today on Dynamite or Mite. That's not going to happen. Yeah, you think that's going to happen? You got a gun in your hand. Yeah, I do got a gun in my hand. And Sally, that's the way my doll was made, and I got no running lead over it. So, why don't I just tell you right now that I'm not in the mood for your shit. See, I already had a talk with Astronema, or Corone, or whatever you want to call her, and she says we're gonna have our match here today. Yep, we are going to have a match here today, Austin Theory. And since you like to run your mouth off so much, Austin Theory, and you like to shame and guilt folks, and you put down, you're putting down Nico Talatini, and since you think you're so good enough at beating him once, why don't you come and seek to beat him again? I don't think you can do this time. Well, if I'm going to fight him again, Astronomer, tell him to throw away the gun. First off, Austin, he can't throw away the gun because the gun was made, put in both of his hands, and that's the way his doll was made. So sorry, he can't throw away the gun. Alright? Anything else you want? Because here today, we're going to see Miko Talatini take on Austin Theory here today on Dynamite or Might. Astronomer says. Here's something, Ecliptor says. I just think that Miko Talatini, however you say that Italish kin name, I think he's gonna beat you. Because one thing we all know about law keepers and also rest keepers is that they are tough folks. You have to be to deal with the shit they gotta deal with every day. So you should have on look for law keepers in the near Earldom, Reich, and Gaver. And boom! Ah! Ecliptor, he knocked me over. I didn't mean to do that, Astronomer. Forgive me. And that's for you saying shit about Dick Woods and all the shows he makes. Ecliptor says. Anyway, now we're going to have this match happens now. Well, you can see, Mike Lane says that Ecliptor, which we were saying his name wrong since between 98 YL, we've been saying his name wrong. And we all know that Ecliptor hit and knocked down Austin Theory. You know, hit and knocked down Austin Theory, and that couldn't have happened to a greater fellow, Mike Lane says. He got that right, Tony Schiavone said. It couldn't have happened to a greater man. Oh, and right now, Nico Sanatini right now is getting the upper hand on Austin Theory here today on Dynamite, or might, Tony Schiavone says. We know Mike Lane said it might not be the Dynamite you're thinking of, or the Might you're thinking of, but it's still a good show, Tony Schiavone says. Well, how can you say that? I mean, the only grounds to why Miko Sanatini got the upside on Austin Theory is because since Ecliptor hit him with his sword, Mike and Tony, and that's unfair. It should be sinful and it should be unlawful. It's not sinful or unlawful, like Mike Lane says. Not at all. And right now, Miko Sanatini, if I'm saying it right, he's going to get the upside on Austin Theory and make up for the loss he got at the hands of Austin Theory yesterday on NXT. Well, that's right, Tony Schiavone said. It was Austin Theory who beat Nico Sanatini yesterday on NXT, but here today on Dynamite, or Might, he's going to get even. Yeah, with his gun. Montour Katie's Porter says he can't do anything with his gun. Oh, and Austin Theory just drop kicked it down. Miko Sanatini, see? Austin Theory got the upside now, and now the Fight Lord's fall. Now the match overling is falling down. Oh! And what I think is that Tony, I think the match keeper or the match overling or whatever you want to call him needs to get him lose his gun. A downtown to Nico Tenatini, Montelratadius Porter says. And Austin Theory's going to beat him 2 times. Well, Mike Lane says, if they could get that gun out of his hand, which it would be a hard thing to do. There we go. Oh, a spine buster. It would be a hard thing. It would be hard to get that gun out of his hands. Then it would be hard to get the gun back into his hands, Mike Lane said, and it's on a spine buster. Yeah, Tony Schiavone said it was a spine buster, Mike Lane. And here's a bulldog, which has nothing to do with any bulldogs, either English or Frenchish. Or, Tony Schiavone says, that's a forgiveness, Montelratadius Porter says. That is a forgiveness, and we know it. He can't, that's a forgiveness why he can't get the gun out of his hands. That's a forgiveness. Hey, the 8 downtown's going to happen. And Miko Santini just got the better on Austin Theory. Mike Lane says, here it goes, Tony Schiavone says, you get the 1, 2, 3. No, Austin Theory, you can't lose to Miko Senatini. No, we can lose to him. 1, 2, 3. Ding, ding, ding. Here is your winner, Miko Senatini. Well, Miko Senatini has beat Austin Theory here today on Dynamite or Might. And now at the end of the day, Austin Theory has no one to guilt, only himself, for taking that loss here today, Mike Lane says. Yes, he does, Tony Schiavone said. At the end of the day, Mike, Austin Theory has no one to guilt, only himself, for why he lost here today on Dynamite or Might. You know what? Montelratadius Porter says, Austin Theory, he should have won that match. He should have won that fight. There's no way that he could lose to someone who is handicapped with a gun in his hand like Nico Senatini. If I'm saying his kin name right or not, who cares? So anyway, at the end of the day, someone that's going to get even with him. And I know Austin Theory is going to get even with him, some way, somehow. Shit. Says Montelratadius Porter. Well, alright, now Mike Lane says take it away. We're going to have Bob walk now. Thank you, Mike Lane and Tony Schiavone. I'm going to be talking with Nico Senatini here today on Dynamite or Might. No, you're going to be talking with me. Well, Austin Theory, it seems that things didn't quite go the way you wanted them to go. Oh yeah, Bob Walk. How the hell did you go from being a ball player to being a play-by-play caller who falls out of his seat in NBL games? Anyway, I lost to Austin Theory. I lost to Nico Senatini. But who cares about that? I'm going to get even with him. And he thinks I'm frightened of him because he's got that gun in his hand. Well, bullshit. We know that's a toy gun. And he thinks I'm going to onlook him because he was once a lawkeeper in Chicago Stead, which is in Cox Earldom, which is in Illinois Reich, which is in the 4-1 Reichs. Don't think so. Austin Theory, he got even with you today You beat him yesterday on NXT and today on Dynamite. Or might he beat you? Yeah, beginner's luck we call it. I've been beating a lot more folks than he did in his whole film. He likes to say he's above the law. Well, you're looking at the man who's been above the law for years. You're looking at him, Austin Theory. Well, Bob Walk says that was the name of the film called Nico Above the Law, sometimes known Above the Law. The first film that Steven Seagal played in. Anyway, Nico Sanatini beat you here today. You can't handle that. Yeah, and you can't handle sitting in your seats in an MLB game without falling out of it. You know. Well, that's my talk with Austin Theory. Back to you, Mike Lane and Tony Schiavone. Well, thank you, Bob Walk, for talking with Austin Theory here today on Dynamite or Mike. And that's all the time we got here for Dynamite or Mike. I, Mike Lane, Tony Schiavone, Montel Vertadius Porter. We hope you like Dynamite or Mike, and we'll see you tomorrow.